SOP and checklist for machine first-time power on. This video will be divided into 4 parts: distribution box check, checklist before machine power on, machine power check, and checklist after machine power on. Part 1. Distribution box check. First, make sure distribution box is dry, then check the input voltage, which should be functioning normally before switch on the breaker. After breaker is switched on for a while, check if the voltage is stable. Part 2. Checklist before machine power on. First, check electrical wiring such as cable connection for machine and peripheral equipment, and the environment should not be wet. Next, check air system and hydraulic system components such as tube and valve. Then, make sure the amount and quality of lubricant, cutting fluid and through spindle coolant meet requirements. Part 3. Machine power check. Make sure distribution box is dry and clean, and check the input voltage before flip on the power breaker. Breaker and machine can be switched on after previous step. If there are more than one machine, it is recommended that power should be switched on one by one to make sure alarms are not triggered. Part 4. Checklist after machine power on. There are 2 steps to check after machine is turned on: before and after emergency stop button is released. Before emergency stop button is released, user need to check machine safety. First, fans of power and driver should be working. Next, safety door and signal light should work well. After that, emergency stop button should work. The last thing is controller should not show an unknown alarm. After emergency stop button is released, check axis movement first. Move all axis by using MPG mode. All axis movement should be smooth and without abnormal noise. Secondly, check spindle function. Rotate spindle and there should be no abnormal noise. Air blow for spindle should work well. Load and unload tool function should work well. Next step is tool turret check. In manual mode, check turret push out, retract, rotate clockwise and counterclockwise function. After that, change tool in MDI mode to ensure all function works well. Then, move on to machine warm-up. For axis warm-up, use lower feed rate override and switch on MPG simulation function. Move axis slowly at first. If machine works well, switch override to 100% and warm up for 20 to 30 minutes. For spindle warm-up, use low rotate speed first, 100 revolutions per minute, then adjust rotate speed to maximum speed step by step, then warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. Before machining, check cutting fluid system, cooling system, air pressure system, chuck jig fixture and machining settings such as program, workpiece coordinate, tool number and tool length. For first-time machining, it is recommended to use single block and lower feed rate override. If any alarms are triggered or machine does not work properly, please refer to user manual first. If alarm cannot be troubleshot, please press emergency button and contact sales representative or Syntec for assistance.